Welcome back to some new r/PettyRevenge stories. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Shopping Revenge. This happened a few days ago at a grocery store. I was waiting in the regular checkout lane, designated for senior citizens and persons with disabilities. A few elderly customers were seated in the provided chairs, clearly waiting for their turn. Then a man walked up and cut in front of the seated seniors. I pointed out, "Hey, they are already in line." Without even looking at me, he replied, "I don't see them standing in line though," in a dismissive tone. The seniors looked uncomfortable but didn't say anything. I stayed quiet after that, but I was frustrated. A few minutes later, while we were both still in line, I happened to notice his cart. It was filled with what appeared to be camping gear. Items like a sleeping bag, paper plates, marshmallows, instant noodles, a portable stove, and one small can of butane gas. While he was distracted, talking on his phone, I quietly removed the butane can from his cart and placed it into mine. He didn't notice. He checked out and left the store. I paid for my own items, including the can of butane, and went on my way. If he made it to his campsite and tried to use that portable stove, he would have found it unusable. No gas, no hot food, no coffee, just uncooked noodles, and, maybe, a moment of reflection. The next story is called No Spoilers. I used to work in a comic shop, and over time I got to know many of the regular customers who came in each week. One of them had once mentioned he was a fan of Stargate, so one week when he stopped by, I told him I had started rewatching Stargate from the beginning. I also mentioned that I'd never seen the final 3 seasons or any of the spin-offs, and was looking forward to watching them. The first thing he said was, "Oh, so you don't know about this detailed plot point from the final season?" I responded with, "Whoa, no spoilers." That probably should have been enough, but it wasn't. Each week he came in and continued to spoil more plot points, even after I repeatedly asked him not to. After a while it became clear he was doing it deliberately. He'd get a bit of a smirk each time I asked him not to spoil anything. This continued for about 2 months. Then one day he came in to pick up a large order of comics he had pre-purchased. After he paid, instead of bagging them immediately, I laid them all out on the counter. At the time I was reading nearly every comic released weekly by Marvel and DC, along with many others, so I happened to have already read all of the titles in his order. I calmly pointed to each one and told him exactly what happened in each issue. He didn't bring up Stargate again after that. The third story is called Stolen Car. One night I woke up to the sound of my old 1995 Honda Civic trying to start. I knew something was off immediately. The car didn't start though, thanks to a kill switch I had installed because car theft is a big issue in my area, especially with older Civics. I ran outside in my underwear and shouted as loudly as I could from the porch, "Hey, what are you doing?" 2 people jumped out of my car and took off down the street. My shouting woke up my roommates, and they came downstairs to see what was going on. We looked around, but the thieves had already disappeared. A few minutes later, we heard another attempt to start the car. I called for my roommates again, and we all rushed outside. Some in pajamas, some still in underwear. One brought a skateboard and another grabbed a baseball bat, just to be safe. We stood on the porch, not trying to confront anyone physically, just making our presence known and calling out. One of the people responded from another Honda parked just a few feet away, saying, "This is my car. We are just trying to leave. It's mine." Without thinking much, I shouted back, "No, that's my car now." Strangely enough, that seemed to throw them off, and they just said, "Okay," and ran off. I honestly think they left because there were 4 of us out there, clearly not backing down. I called the police immediately and waited outside to make sure the car was safe. The police arrived, checked the vehicle the suspects had been in, and confirmed that it had been reported stolen. Thankfully, it was returned to its rightful owner. In the end, nothing of mine was taken. and I was extremely grateful for that kill switch. It definitely saved my car that night. The last story is called Not Paying. I had a former roommate who stopped talking to me after I asked them to start contributing to rent and take better care of themselves. After moving out, they apparently decided their way of getting back at me was to give my phone number to all the creditors they owed money to. Now I get calls almost every day from various banks and lenders asking for this former roommate. It is frustrating, especially since I have nothing to do with their financial situation and don't know where they are anymore. I've already checked my credit and locked everything down just in case. But luckily it's clear this person isn't trying anything beyond being a nuisance. If they were attempting something more serious, it would be a legal issue, not just an annoyance. So when these calls come in, I simply respond with, I have zero intention of paying this debt. It's true, because it's not mine. Sometimes I'll also add, you may have to take legal action to recover that money, which is also true, as far as I know. Then I hang up. That's it. If this was meant to be some kind of revenge, I guess it only ended up highlighting just how many accounts this person defaulted on. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.